been waiting to do this. We've got HGTV series, Brother vs. Brother, Season 2, Austin's own Thomas Brown right here in studio. Thomas, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. Excited to be here.
Well,
Thanks for having me.
Good, man. Well, thanks for being on the show. How fun? I mean, what a huge deal for you. I mean, how you get in the TV business? I mean, you're a real estate guy. I mean, well, let's back that up a little bit. Sure. Why don't we start? How'd you get in the real estate business?
Sure.
Is that a good start?
It was a good start. I purchased my first home when I was 22 years old.
Okay.
I renovated it and sold it. Did pretty well, and caught the bug, like most people do at a young age.
Make a little money, got a little money in the bank. You're like, ooh, I love that.
Exactly.
Nice. Cool. So how long have you been doing it?
So I'm going to date myself. I started at 22.
I set you up there, didn't I?
Yeah, I'm going on close to 20 years.
Awesome, man. So tell us about your company. What are you working on? I mean, you got a lot going on in Austin. I mean, what do you have going on around here?
Sure. So I'm a local home builder here in Austin. I'm currently building 20 homes.
Goodness.
Yeah. It's
you said 20?
20.
20 homes.
20.
Goodness.
And by the end of the show, could be more.
Well, they could be sold. We might need to talk about them here a little bit.
That's true.
Nice.
Yeah. So from Crestview, the area of Central Austin, Crestview South.
Hot Crestview.
It is. It's unbelievable.
I mean, I'm not going to ask you how you find 20 homes in Crestview. Yeah. I guess that'd be kind of giving it all away. But so let's talk Crestview. I mean, Crestview, it's folks, your signs are all over the place. Mm-hmm. I mean, that neighborhood is just incredible. Why is it so hot?
Well, first, I don't have 20 homes in Crestview. I have about 10 homes in Crestview.
Oh, that's it.
In various stages of construction. The other areas of town that we're focusing on is East Austin and downtown. Of course, it's hot.
Yeah.
But to go back to Crestview, it's 5.5 miles to downtown.
Yeah.
It's only a few miles to the Domain in Arboretum. Great schools. Yep. It has that homely feel. I mean, you go out there at any time during the day, you see people walking dogs. Yeah. Husband and wife pushing the child in the stroller. It's just a great area.
You don't hear a whole lot of folks complaining about living in Crestview.
Right.
So what are some of these price points out there? I mean, what does it take to get into one of these homes?
Sure. So our lowest price point home right now is in the mid 400s.
Okay.
We're going up as high as almost 800,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Golly. So
all semi-custom built homes.
So, okay. Yeah. So what all are you doing to them? I mean, you're picking them up. You guys are coming in. What are some of the things you're doing to them?
So we buy homes that in some way or form are distressed. We bulldoze the home and we build that new open concept home. Whether it's a single story and it's 2,500 square feet, we try to make sure that we cater to everyone. Have the home office, open living, and a great master suite.
Awesome. So you're doing this. You've got a little real estate going on too. I mean,
I do. I have a real estate team as well. So we help people sell their home as well as purchase their home. So first-time home buyers we work with, all the way up to people looking to purchase their last home. Yeah,
gotcha. So real quick real estate question for you. What kind of advice are you giving folks out there that are looking to buy a home in this hot market?
Sure. It's funny. I get that question all the time. It's hey, I want a great deal. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. A great deal.
What does that mean now?
Right. Exactly. Usually a great deal in this market is just getting the home.
Yeah.
You mentioned earlier in your broadcast that you've seen 15, 16 offers on properties. We see that all the time.
We saw 17 at some point, like the beginning of last month, which it's unheard of.
It's amazing.
It is.
It really is. So I try to educate the consumer prior to going to look at homes and say, look, let's make sure that we have our neighborhood that we want to focus on. Let's make sure that we have our financing in place.
Yep.
That's where y'all come into play.
Texas Team Supreme Lending.
Exactly.
Yes.
Sam, doing the credit repair, make sure the credit scores are right.
Yep.
And we do all of our homework first, if you will, and then we go shop for the house because it is so competitive out there that you have to make sure that you have all your ammunition. You have to make sure that financing's in place, the neighborhood you want to be in is marked and your territory is correct.
I mean, my experience dates back about 11 years, but I just don't remember a time even hearing it. I've studied history because, we all hear it repeats itself. And, we've heard the stories from the 80s with the rates in double digits and 12 and 16%. But, for my professional experience, I have not heard or have not experienced a market like this, ever.
Right.
So, if it's a time to get in the market, I mean, we don't see Austin changing. I mean, we hear folks, 3-5 years. I mean, what's your take on that?
Yeah, no, it's interesting. I actually met someone who was relocating people from the West Coast on one of the big companies.
Yeah.
And he said, we're going to have about 5,500 workers displaced here over the next few years.
Goodness.
We plan to have 11,000 by 2018. God. So the outlook for the real estate market is pretty good.
Yeah, it is. We had Lori Flood on the Realtor right after the break a little bit, talking about a property she had at Palmer Mopac. Apple, it's a 300,000 square foot world operations center.
Right. I mean, Apple is actually the company I was referring to.
Oh, really?
Yes, it's them. Sure.
So I got a quick story on that.
Yeah.
We just bought a house over in that area, and this thing was I don't know what was going on, but it's cranes in the air. They had sticks flying, dirt everywhere, dump trucks, and the whole thing. And Apple, is I don't know if it was cocky or confident, but they had like a little bitty sign. It was like this little bitty piece of paper that they had printed out, just a little blue apple, and they like tacked it on to like the construction sign. And I just thought, like, to me, that was just hilarious. Like this ginormous thing that they're erecting, and this little bitty piece of paper flapping in the wind, Apple.
Sure.
So anyway, they've since changed that, but that's what's happening. I mean, that's what's happening. So man, enough of this boring stuff that I'm talking about. Apple. Hey, let's get to your deal, man. Mm-hmm. Property Brothers. I mean, what a big deal. I mean, HGTV. I mean, that's the hottest network out there. Everybody's loving this thing. I mean, how did you get involved with Brother versus Brother, and how'd this come about?
Sure. So I'd like to say that it was my incredibly good looks, but I don't think that was it.
We're on the radio, dude.
Exactly. So people can't see, right? So no, that wasn't it. A few years ago, I contacted a few different networks and try to pitch an idea for a TV show.
Okay.
And they liked the concept. Mm-hmm. However, it just wasn't in the cards at the time. They got back in touch with someone in my office and said, hey, if you know anyone looking to be on TV, we're going to be in Austin, yada, yada, yada. So I go to the casting call.
Okay.
And they say, hey, we're going to invite you to New York.
What was that casting call like?
Casting call is pretty wild. I had never been to anything like that. And you have people, you always see American Idol on television.
Yeah, and they're all lined up.
And they're lined up. You go into this giant ballroom, and there's people with the gimmicks, right? The giant cowboy hats, right? Everything's bigger in Texas, so everyone's got giant hats on or what have you. And I think I was the only person there in a suit, so I made a pretty decent impression.
Nice.
And they invited me to New York, and they asked me to be on the show.
God, that's awesome. So they said, hey, let's be on the show.
Yes.
And let me take a moment real quick, take a quick time out. We've got word from the booth. Guys, hey, listen, we've got Austin's own Thomas Brown, Brother vs. Brother, HGTV. He is here in the studio, ready to take your calls. When we come back, you will not want to miss this. Stay tuned. All right, Memorial Day weekend it is. I hope you guys are out there enjoying some adult beverages and taking some boat rides, got some barbecue going. That's what I'm going to get to here shortly. But before we do that, I just want to let you guys know that we've got a special guest in studio with us. It's Thomas Brown, Austin's own. He's on HGTV series Brother vs. Brother, Season 2. Thomas, man, doing good, man. I'm happy as I can be for you. We've got some folks out there. I know they're dying to know, what was it like working with these two brothers on HGTV?
Pretty interesting dynamic. I was on Team Drew, so I got to spend a lot more time with Drew.
Team Drew.
That's right.
All right. What was that like?
It was intense. It seemed like they wanted to put us right into the fire day one, which was a lot of fun.
Please explain.
We got to work.
Okay.
The minute we got there, I can't divulge too much about what happened on the show since it's a reality show. But it does air June 8th, Sunday at 8 o'clock. So you better tune in and find out how well I represented Austin.
So did you win?
Come on now.
I know it. I wouldn't dare.
Do I need to even answer that?
Yeah, right. All right, so real quick, what we're going to do, we've got Michael from Travis Heights calling in. We're going to take a quick call for Thomas. Give me 1 second here. Hey, Michael, you there?
Hi, Thomas. I had a question about the Travis Heights area, which is, like a mile from downtown.
Sure.
My mother bought a house there, and she's getting elderly, and we're thinking about selling it. She bought a house there in 1972, and she paid $22,000 for it. It's
Oh, wow.
Four bedroom, 3 baths, but it's, stuck back in the Brady Bunch era.
Sure.
And she gets a card on her door every day from real estate people wanting to, take it on. Can you see a house? I mean, because if we sell it, we want to get the most we can out of it.
Of course.
If that house sells for $750,000, you got to gut it completely out. Do you see any way to do that in Travis Heights? It's right at Live Oak and right behind Twin Oaks Shopping Center. There's a real nice neighborhood that was built there in the 50s.
Sure.
And it's has big oak trees, big con trees in the yard, and stuff like that.
Sure. I actually have a few new builds right in that area, so I know that area fairly well. To speak to the economics of your personal situation is difficult without me analyzing your property, condition, lot size, etc. But you hit the nail on the head. I mean, you certainly want to sell in this market and reap the rewards, right? So,
well, the condition is the 1970s, and it's probably it's not really. It's the location. I mean, you can get on the roof and you can see the Capitol.
Hey, Michael, let me hop in there real quick. This is Jason Stubbs here. What are you looking to accomplish? I mean, what are some of your goals? I mean, what would put the biggest smile on your face?
$750,000.
Attaboy.
For her, because she's going to have to relocate, and it's not going to be easy finding anything near what she has now. And she was a single mom, and she bought that house at $23,000, I think she paid for it, and that was quite a bit back then in 1972.
Hey, no kidding.
So Michael, what we can do is I can have one of my agents give you a call and come do a free analysis for you and give you a good idea of what to expect.
That sounds good to us.
Hey, Michael, just hang on real quick. We've got John in the booth. He'll grab your information and we can get you in contact with Thomas and be sure to tune in to his show. And Thomas, when does your Brother vs. Brother show air?
It is Sunday, June 8th at 8 o'clock.
Awesome.
Yes.
There you go, Michael. Check him out on the TV, and we'll get him in contact with you. Hey, we want to appreciate you, or we thank you for calling the show, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Michael.
All right, man. So before we took that call, we were talking about your experience working on the TV show and working with the two brothers.
Yes.
And so we're getting into it. You said you got into the house and they put you to work. I mean, you got cameras everywhere, probably for the first time of your life. And what did they do? I mean, what was the first thing they had you do?
Yeah, it's definitely different. It's intense. I mean, yes, cameras are everywhere. You're mic'd up the entire time.
Yeah.
They hear everything. They see everything.
Yeah.
To give you put it in perspective, there's 240 hours of film.
Goodness.
For a 42-minute episode. So I can't wait to see how I look.
Awesome, man. So so you were out there for how long?
Yeah, I was out there for almost a month.
Wow.
In Los Angeles filming.
Wow.
Which was a great experience. I mean, above all else, meeting the brothers and meeting the crew was great. I happen to work on Team Drew with a bunch of great people.
Yeah.
I was fortunate. You never know what to expect in going into a situation like that. But I was really lucky. I still keep in touch with most people on my team.
Good.
And really even on the other team. And I actually became really, really good friends with one of the contestants who's from New York.
Awesome.
Go figure, I'm originally from New York, right?
Yeah. Right.
So it was a great experience.
Well, cool. So what are these guys just made for TV guys? I mean, do they know what they're doing? I mean, did you learn anything from them?
Yeah, they walk into a room, and these guys, you have to understand, these guys are both 6'5".
Are they really?
Yeah,
they
look
big,
tall. They're just big men.
So anybody standing next to them looks small.
That's right. So they walk into a room and they just command the stage. They do.
Awesome.
They have a great presence, but they're just very nice, down to earth guys.
Nice. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
So guys, if you're just now tuning in, you're listening to Real Estate Radio, Stakely and Stubbs. We've got Austin's own Thomas Brown. He's got the Brother vs. Brother show coming up, season 2 on HGTV. Thomas, give us those dates and times again for if they want to tune into your TV show.
Sure. That's Sunday, June 8th at 8 o'clock on HGTV.
Awesome. And for those that are just tuning in that did or have not seen your show, what's the format like? I mean, Brother versus Brother. I mean, kind of explain the format real quick and what can we expect to see? You got your 2 brothers and who else?
Sure. There's actually 3 brothers.
Okay.
However, the Brother versus Brother concept is just with the twins, Drew and Jonathan. Okay. Then they have an older brother. His name is JD, and you'll see him behind the camera. He does a lot of the off-the-cuff, if you will, interviews.
Cool.
It's pretty awesome. He's a great guy as well. It sounds the show is super competitive. It's both brothers compete against each other.
Cool.
They have each team has 5 contestants on the team.
Okay.
And at the end of each challenge, which lasts a few days, the judges will determine who brings more value to the home.
Well, I hope you kicked all their ass because, man, I'm pulling for you. You're Austin, Texas. That's what I'm about,
that's
man.
Right.
And, hey, I want to take a moment here to thank you for being on the show.
Sure.
Man, it's been a great show. But before we go, listen, guys, if you're out there, you have any questions at all, buying, selling, real estate, anything, home flipping, you've heard it a bazillion times, you need to give this guy a call. Thomas Brown, how do we get in touch with you?
You can call my cell phone directly. I answer it, 512-619-6559.
All right. Well, hey, thank you for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
You bet, buddy. Also, we had Sam knocking with Texas Best Credit Repair. You guys have any questions on that, you can always reach us on air, 512-836-0590. Be sure to take a peek at us on the web, www.realestateradioatx.com.